They're referred to as retellings in the field of children's literature. My mother tells me as I sit atop her lap. I look down on the scene as me as a small child, my mother reading a picture book to me. I'm aware it's a dream, perhaps a lucid dream. We finished reading Mary's Child from the Grimm's fairy tales, and my mother explaining the conventions of children's literature to me. I already knew a story. I'd pointed out to her that its version I heard was different to one she just read. It tells me there are sometimes horrible, gruesome parts in old fairy tales, so people change them to be less scary. My youngest self wonders whether it's wrong to change the original story and turn it into something else. Chances it's because this way we preach stories has changed. In the past, things we would find cruel today were considered normal. Retelling isn't about altering the story to be something else, it's more like adorning it with flowers to make it sweeter. Trouble with sometimes lies can be a kindness. And that's probably why I couldn't tell my Amitié the truth. Even though I knew she sought the truth about all else, I chose to lie to her, and because of that little white lie back at the end of spring, she's been suffering ever since. I thought that I wanted to see the truth too, and I learned of my mother's betrayal, and part of me died inside. That's why, no, excuse I gave to why I'm crying as I watch myself sit atop her lap in happier times. I should have trusted my Amitié, I should have trusted Suoh Shirahane. I didn't have feared that I would be betrayed again. She would have found me, been there for me, and have told the truth. Her heart isn't as fickle as my mother's. Whispered words echo strange in the dream space. I watch my mother, arms still around my younger self, turn sluggishly towards me. Slowly but steadily, her head turns and I can still see her face. But through her lips wear a gentle smile. Expression is terrifying, and I open my mouth wide and scream. Yet still she smiles. When my eyes meet hers, her fear jolts me awake. Over my head is an unfamiliar ceiling made of planks of wood. Dream and reality mingle confusingly for a moment, but eventually I remember where I am, the bed I used to sleep in. Right. I put my part as a prince in the play, and then? After that I planned to make my exit, but Suoh refused to let me go my hand, and I ended up staying over in a room. No longer a familiar sight. I murmured back to myself as I stared at the wooden base of a bed above me. The room was still silent, and could easily be anyone else if the world has died. Like inside a Giorgio de Chirico painting. I feel like I'm a lone person left in a strange and unfamiliar town. Can't sleep. So his voice comes to me from a bed above, blowing away the silence that has been dancing around me like dust. Fear that's always encased my heart, like frost melts away too. I call softly to tell her I'm fine. Retelling, sir. Mother said that white lies do no harm. My white lie hurt me irreparably. And it hurt Suoh too. My mother betrayed me and my father. And she abandoned me. Suoh. I want to draw a line between who I was then and who I am now. Will you spend the day with me tomorrow? After agreeing to Mayuri's request of the previous night, I'm now following her down the path that leads towards town, or rather, all of us are. Although it's a Sabbath, it would probably raise suspicions if we left the dorms at the same time. So each pair of Amity partners slipped out of their rooms at different times and met at the start of a little path that leads to a secret lake. From where we set out with Mayuri leading the way to our destination. A strange tension hangs out over us as we have to tread the snowy path, stifling any urge to make conversation. Even Ichigo, who's usually the first to break silence, remains quiet, the concentration focused on her feet. I gaze at Mayuri's back and look over my shoulder at the line marching behind me. Rika-san has a serious gaze which made ahead while the twins are walking along with their heads down. Takasaki is gripping the handles of Amity part of the wheelchair, taking care to avoid any stones that may lie hidden. And in a wheelchair, Erika is resting her hands lightly on the white rims. Gaze directed up into the air and she's staring at it like she's spotted a cryptid hidden in the background of a photo. So... A sudden vocalisation makes me jump and we all stop in our tracks for a moment. How much longer until we get there? About an hour. Besides drag away through the snow. That doesn't bother me, not like I'm wanting my legs here. I just get pushed around. Anyway, this place you're leading us to. I take it's a secret base you've been hiding out in. Mayuri looks guilty beneath Erika's sharp stare, and she seems to be struggling with finding words to respond. I can't believe you had your lair so close to the academy all this time. Did you not stop for a second to ring out Shirahane might be feeling, waiting for you to come back? It's fine, Erika. Don't. I wasn't talking to you, I'm talking to Kohsaka. Figured we got something to work out between us and me and her. As I'm about to interject again, another voice, hardly light to consider the situation, cuts me off. You haven't got to get Mayuri's case for Suoh-san's sake. I only took care about yesterday, didn't I? Oh yeah, you could say that. Mayuri trails off and Ichigo giggles, and everyone beside me and Erika laughing along too. Anyway, Erika, I thought you and Yuri got along, although I suppose I don't remember you talking that much. It's not a case of get along or not, sis. Oh, it's not? You know lilies are definitely poisonous to cats, right? Huh? You didn't know? The petals are the most poisonous part of a lily. But even with leaves and stems, it can be a death sentence. I just don't get along. By the time Ichigo-san cottons onto the fact that Erika is a cat, and Miyu is a lily, Erika-san's sharp edges have rounded out. I hear you've been looking out for Suoh while I've been gone, Yagaki-san. Thank you for that. Taking a click of the tongue as a signal, we all set off walking again. This time Takasaki starts up a conversation about reservation. Oh, by the way, everyone keeps telling me that Kohsaka-san and I look alike. What do you think now you can see us both together? We're too dim during a play to really tell. I personally think you look very alike, especially in your face shape and hairstyle. Plus you both give kind of a otherworldly vibe. Really? Takasaki cocks her head thoughtfully, but Rika chimes in to say she never thought they looked alike. Takasaki comes across as more intense, whilst Miyu is more, I don't know, soft? Right, Suoh-san? I see where Rika-san's coming from, but I do think they have similar physique. You sure his glasses are my prescription? The whole reason behind the idea to swap them out during the play was because they look so alike. I suppose they do look similar from a distance. Even Yuzuriha said the casting was pitch perfect for our plan. No understanding why exactly Erika warned me before play there might be some surprises in store. I see. Yatsushiro-senpai, of course. Before stepping inside the hidden room of the library, I thought I saw Rika and Yatsushiro-senpai discussing something. One of the questions we're still harbouring is resolved, and I nod to myself. I just want to warn you again what's going to happen when I get there. I don't think it's going to be a pleasant conversation, but you also want to know the truth, yes? Of course we do. We've come too far to get this all wrapped up in a neatly bone as getting any real answers. Well, it's a bit late to turn back now. Miyu came to a stop as the others voiced an agreement, and turned to gaze on Erika. Yagaki-san, I think this is going to be particularly hard on you. Are you sure you want to do this? Like I said, there's no turning back now. Words are unflinching, but having known for so long, I can tell she's putting a brave face. What awaits us is... But let's get going. She sounds like she's driving home a nail and sets off down the path. The crunch of footsteps of snow resonating with meaning. After following a path that leads from a secret lake towards the town for a short while, we turn off on a track that cuts through a forest. The entrance to the narrow path is cleverly hidden by trees. We walk along the winding trail until, through the trees, we catch a glimpse of a brick building about the size of a small sanatorium. As we approach, the snow-covered path turns into a well-kept drive, and a lawn, and eventually a flight of stone steps. The grounds contain a gazebo like one of the Academy, and beyond that I see a beautiful snow-dusted garden. Another garden with one eye as we make our way up to the front of a two-storey building. It's really like in a traditional European style, and used both timber and brick. Carved angels look down from us at our entrance. Mayuri doesn't knock or call out, she simply pushes against the door. Together we enter the mansion where Mayuri passed the seasons. Come in. I see Erika's shoulders jerk with the sound of a voice on the other side. I know that voice. The doorknob turns, the door opens, and standing there, Sister Basket. Welcome to the Awashima mansion. Sister Basket smiles at us from the centre of a small room, blending in with surroundings as though she's standing in a small life painting. Smiles are different from one she wears at the Academy. I can sense a hidden sadness behind it. Turning my gaze away from her, I look at the high sleek room. There's an antique looking table and chair. There's two other things that draw my eye. A wheelchair and a canopied bed. They must belong to the owner of this room. Their face is blocked from my view by the canopy, but from a lump under the covers, I can tell the bed is occupied. Needn't whisper, she's in deep, deep sleep. Sister Basket informs me, having followed my gaze. There's no figure lying in the bed, the others all exchange uncomfortable looks. The only one who remains unmoved is Mayuri. You know why we're here, don't you? Yes, I'm assuming you found a hidden room? I nod, she lets out a little sigh. I've been able to get in contact with Yuzuriha Yatsushiro. I thought something might have happened. Looks at each of us in turn, her gaze lingering a little long on Erika. Erika lowers her gaze, looking down weakly at her lap. No one speaks, silence settles in over the room like a layer of dust. Looks at Mayuri and Rika, and let out a long breath and faces to Basket. All the mystery surrounding the odd incidents that occurred in this academy were resolved by two things I found in that room. One was a historical account of the academy. Weren't there already books on the academy's history in this thick? There was a more detailed account spanning back to when Saint Angraecum Academy was known as the Awashima Seminary, and before that, at the time it was Awashima Sanatorium. The Awashima Sanatorium? I knew about the seminary from your books, but I didn't mention that. Soichi Awashima made his fortune in the paper industry when a family member contracted tuberculosis. Built a medical retreat facility, the Awashima Sanatorium. And why was it turned into a seminary? After the death of his granddaughter, Soichi Awashima converted to Christianity and was baptized. Some feature of the sanatorium persisted after it became a seminary, forming a basis of the 7 mysteries we know today. Hearing Rika say and repeat my last 3 words, ask her whether or not she's identified the strange commonalities shared by the mysteries. What do 7 mysteries have in common? They're scary and anyone who encounters the mysteries are spirited away. The sanatorium, it wasn't unusual for someone to be there one day and suddenly gone the next. To soften the blow, word was spread around they'd been spirited away. That white lie endured after the facility changed from a sanatorium to seminary, and again to Saint Angraecum. In the process it became distorted. And so Kifune was caught up in that white lie. There have been cases of students becoming terribly homesick, being removed from the school to a local health resort. Perhaps that was also. So rumours proliferated, whether they were left to breed in fertile ground, you know? Like a green cloak or a green husband, reminiscent of an orderly's uniform. Yes, that may be a slightly tenuous link. I carry on. The Awashima family continued to run the facility even after it became a seminary. At that point, though, it was probably more philanthropic than a business endeavour. They invited a visiting priest from overseas, and And at some point, a deacon named Jericho Basket fell for one of Yashima daughters and married into the family. A basket? However, with the end of the Meiji period and the start of a war, the Yashima family fortunes took a sharp downward turn. They attempted to diversify their business, expanding out from paper into steel and other industries, but these efforts ultimately failed. With their main business in peril, the seminary, which had been run as a charitable endeavour, was in danger of closing down. At this point, the Basket family extended a helping hand. Their terms were that Jericho Basket would be named heir to the Arashima family estate, and a relative of their choosing would be made head of a school. So a man named Benelli came over from Italy to run the school and married Jericho's granddaughter, Tsubaki. As promised, the Basket family provided the capital to rebuild the paper business. The seminary was reopened and renamed Saint Angraecum Academy. Look to Sister Basket for confirmation, she nods. The Basket family has always played a second fiddle to the Arashima family. With the name change to Saint Angraecum Academy, that relationship turned on its head. At day 4, the academy was run by the Basket family. Wait, does that make you the head of the academy? No. Well, I do bear the family name. I'm not the head. That honour goes to one Alien Basket, who was governor of the school for these many long years. We respectfully refer to her as Mother Elder. Upon hearing the name, a wave of cold sweeps over me like an icicle down my spine. Everyone is shooting futile glances over to a canopied bed. My fear stems from elsewhere. From a member of a tree that grows against the young Basket's grave. The red buried elder. The tree from which Judas, the betrayer, was hung. Though some say it was my namesake in Japanese, a redbud. Allium, Mother Elder, had 2 children, a boy named Asta and a girl named Iberis. When she was baptised, Iberis Basket did not become a nun. Instead, it was her brother who went on to be ordained in the priesthood. Training in Italy, he returned to the academy to serve as resident priest. So there were male staff members of the academy back then. Yes, he was a truly wonderful priest and teacher. He was also my father. What? Erika's noise voice speaks for all of us. Catholic priests are supposed to be celibate, so how could he have his daughter? Feeling in mine and Erika's gaze on her, Sister Basket offers a conflicted look on her face. Father Asta was not my biological father. I was found abandoned in front of a chapel, the old chapel. He took me in and raised me on his own. You were adopted? He was a gentleman with a big heart. I adored and idolised my adoptive father, so I chose the path of sisterhood, but Father Asta. Sister Basket's words fade into the ether as though her voice had deserted her. An abrupt and chilling change comes over her. The expression is pained, and I find myself at a loss what to say to her. I can tell whatever she's keeping from her speaking is something deeply distressing. However, Sister Basket. Only Erika has a courage to look into her entity eyes. She remains silent till time has come to stand for her. Honestly, when I transferred into the academy, I was a mess. Even though I was the one who wanted to come here, I still felt like I'd been abandoned. But you were there for me. You continued to speak to me even when I barely answered. And bit by bit, that kindness of yours softened my heart. I idolise you the same way you idolise your father. So please don't take Sister Basket I know and love away from me. Erika's words like a confession. Her life gradually returns Sister Basket's blank stare until her eyes are once again brimming with a warmth we know her for. She goes over to Erika and affectionately strokes her messy hair. Thank you. I was about to run from those memories once again. Hearing the word memories, I'd see my chance to connect with keys I've collected so far. There's a connection between your adoptive father, Asta, and Shion Basket, is there not? Yes, Shion was his niece, and the daughter of Mother Elder's daughter at Beres. And... She loses her voice again and momentarily presses her hands to her chest, clearly enjoying something painful. Her memories of a distant past, a wound where left is still painfully fresh, gushing blood even. I learned of Shion Basket after Rika discovered her letters amongst your specimens. Specimens? Letters? The letters told of a life at the Academy. I was seemed to trace the exact same path that Mayuri and I took from spring to a Feast of Assumption. The final letter was written by her Amitié partner, Sayori Kifune. In it, she wrote her jealousy that she wasn't chosen for all of Mary, and she told her feelings and penitence towards her deceased Amitié Shion Basket. Miss Kifune wrote to Shion? Sister Basket looks back at her past as she's watching the shadows of a fish flit across the surface of the lake from deep below. Whilst I know I'm digging into an open wound, I have to speak my theory aloud. Shion Basket died in the old chapel right after the Feast of the Assumption, didn't she? Her hand still pressed to her chest, Sister Basket nods. Her eyes narrowed as though she's returned to that day. Yes, she did. Wind was blowing a gale that day and I was still a child. All I could do was watch the chapel as it went up in flames. When I heard from Miss Kifune she had arranged to meet Shion at the chapel that night, I realised Shion was in there, but the fire was too strong. While everyone else blocked Miss Kifune from leaping into the flames herself, her father. Sister Basket's expression crumples as she nods jerkily, trembling all over so she's returned to the child she was that day. Her father went into the flames to save her. They both lost their lives in the chapel that night. Zoe felt it was her fault when he died, and she travels off unable to verbalise the tragic events. Again lays on top of Sister Basket's shaking one. But there's something that doesn't make sense when they died together in the chapel. What doesn't make sense? Both Shion and Father Asta passed away in the same place. Why does only Shion have a grave by there of Rune's old chapel? Everyone except Mayuri looked at Sister Basket for an answer. I say that's assumed because Asta Basket is interred in the Basket's family plot. Yes, it lies with the rest of the Basket family. No, but everyone is now wondering why Shion Basket alone was left the rest of the chapel. The reason behind that is connected to the goddess of truth and the secret of the first and last of the 7 mysteries, the Tulpa of Agape. Everyone's eyes on me explain where my deductions have led me. I came across a concept of imaginary friends back when I had some of you do research on tulpas for me. I explain how it's common for children to have imaginary friends that sometimes they can even enjoy into adulthood. A friend born from the loneliness of one's own mind seems to have a will of its own. Sometimes they live an often word of counsel. This concept of an imaginary friend closely resembles that of a tulpa. But how does that relate to a grave? Not saying she and Asta came back as ghosts. No, if they appeared as ghosts on the old chapel, the mystery would be called the ghost of the old chapel. Where were the tulpa and goddess of truth creatures? Catching Eric's good look, I turn back to Sister Basket and ask her about Alien Basket. After losing both her son and granddaughter in the fire, her elder began to experience psychological effects, didn't she? This is it. You got everything figured out. Yes, you did. The death of Asta and her beloved Shion damaged her beyond repair. You mean... It's not as bad as I'm sure you were imagining. You see, at first we just thought she was depressed. So we took her out to try and lift her spirits. We took her to the Academy's ballet recital and recitation and the play, and then at a feast of Assumption she saw a student playing with Role of Mary and declared that she was Shion Basquiat. She saw Shion, but I thought she died in the fire. Oh, I see. So this is where the story connects to the idea of an imaginary friend. That day forth, Alien spoke about Shion as though she were still alive. It wasn't the same as what Shirahane described. She wasn't talking about an imaginary person. She truly believed that the student playing Mary was Shion. We were starting to understand. Hands covered their mouths. I looked at Mayuri, the figure of Mother Elder, asleep in the bed. The goddess of truth as a girl who was taken away by Mother Elder as Shion Basquiat. The story ended at a tragic conclusion. A heavy silence stretches between us, so we contemplate the chain of transgressions born from the depths of grief. But then a different voice breaks through the silence. No. Miss Kohsaka. It's true the talk of Agape is Mother Elder, Alien Basquiat, but... No one is taken against their will. We all come here to a mansion to be a grandchild of our own accord. Oh, you agree to it? What do you mean? She doesn't think that every girl who plays Mary is Shion. It's only when her symptoms are particularly bad, and the girls look similar enough. And that's why they're taken? It's not like that. We explain the situation to the girl and ask her whether or not they could be willing to play the part of Shion for Alien for a short while. Sister Basquiat tells us some other elders' delusion of this girl as Shion never lasts for too long. 2 or 3 months, half a year at the longest. In return for acting as a granddaughter during his time, the student receives preferential treatment when seeking a place at a sister school or employment at a related company. I recall someone saying that being taken away was an honour. I guess they weren't entirely wrong. When Mother Elder saw Miss Kohsaka at the Feast of Assumption, she believed her to be Shion. Explained the situation to her, and brought her here several times to speak with Alien, and she agreed to take leave from the academy for a short while, but... Looks so much like Shion. Yes, she's a spitting image of Shion in that photo. Yeah, I could almost believe it, she was Shion reincarnated. And because Mayuri's uncanny resemblance to Shion, but the Elder's delusion, which would normally last no more than 6 months, persisted. I see. And when we arrive back at the original question, why is only Shion Basquiat's grave at the side of the old chapel? Because what would happen if Alien went to pay her respects to her Basquiat family plot and came across her granddaughter's grave when she was still under the delusion that Shion was alive? The illusion would be shattered, and her heart along with it. We all look towards Mother Elder's sleeping form. The story is over. Silence descends across the room again. Now the truth has been revealed, shall I ask that Mayuri be allowed to return? Or do I become complicit in this white lie so that Mother Elder can continue her sweet fantasy? But Shirahane is alive and well. In fact, there is an ultimate question. Do you destroy the beliefs of somebody who is surviving purely on that false dream? Agree to go along with an idea which somebody who's kind and gentle has agreed to help this person she barely knows? Or do you free her from the shackles of her kindness? First, no one noticed her voice, but with feathers of fluttering insects filled me wings. When it gained quivers against my eardrums, I realised that Mother Elder was speaking. Yes, I'm here, Grandmother. Mayuri's result of voice is softer, more feminine register. She crosses over to bed and takes the old woman's hand. Shirahane, my dear, let me see your face. Yes, Grandmother. Mayuri lifts a wrinkled hand down to her own cheek. The old woman's gnarled fingers flutter over her forehead, her eyes, her cheeks and her lips. Her eyes crack open slightly. Oh, my dear Shirahane, have you been by my bed all this time? I'm always here by your side. Allium. Shirahane, how was your ballet exam? I recall you talking about how difficult you were finding it. I've been taking lessons. I don't really think I'm improving. I really do enjoy ballet lessons though. I see. Your mother Bella struggled with ballet too. But she practiced and practiced and eventually she improved. Really? Then I'll have to ask you to instruct me. Yes, you do that. That would be. Mother Elder lapses into a coughing fit and Mayuri fetches a jug, pours a glass of water and holds up to her lips. Such an intimate, familiar act, as they truly are family. The sight of it moves us all. The old woman whose heart is broken by the loss of her son and granddaughter, the girl who was betrayed by her own mother. The two of them have spent the seasons slowly fitting together and missing pieces in their hearts. You should rest, Grandmother. I will bring you dinner. Thank you, my sweet dear granddaughter. I am so proud of you. Her eyes as she looks towards me, are filled with love, and to fight back with sob rising in my throat. Then, the elder's gaze slowly drifts towards me. Oh, you must be Shirahane's friends. When her grey-brown eyes fall on me, I see a sudden flash of recognition, of resistance. Then she looks back to Mayuri and past her to Sister Basket standing behind her. Oh, Dahlia, you've grown so much. I wish my son could see you now. Smiling at Sister Basket, she lets out a long sigh. She's returned to reality. Tears slide down my cheeks, a realisation that a blissful dream has come to an end. Thank you, my dear Shirahane. After fondly patting Mayuri's cheeks, light and eyes doubles once again. Mayuri squeezes her hand in return, responding to the name Shirahane. But her eyes aren't seeing Mayuri. Blue butterflies. A pair of butterflies appears though they have been always there. They flutter around the room as though searching for something. Butterflies. The symbol of my fear. Yet I sense no malice from them. but something like intimacy even. Shion. Asta, yes, you're both here. You were always both with me. Asta, father? The blue butterfly sat on top of Mother Elder's chest as though they're speaking to her. Yes, I'm sorry, I've kept you waiting all this time. We'll be there again in the garden where the flowers bloom. Hearing her voice is barely a whisper, Mayuri presses her cheek to the old woman's chest, calling her for her grandmother. But as long as the light fades, 3 blue butterflies flit up from her chest. The goddess of truth, that selfless love called agape, disappeared from the academy, never to return. We therefore commit this body to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. All things under God's rule. Yea, though I walk through a valley of the shadow of death. I repeat the prayer that I heard at grandmother's funeral, the rolling emotions in my chest to keep the rest of the world stuck in my throat. It's a flower you so loved. I lay the Angraecum flowers atop Shion Basket's grave. The flowers Sister Basket tended to in a greenhouse. How she must have felt during her frequent visit to Shion's grave. To come here, she would have to pass right by the remains of a chapel. The chapel where her beloved father. How crass. Forcing my lips to quirk upwards, I pray for Shion and Suoh's souls. In the end, it was decided not to move Shion's body to a Basket family plot. Sister Basket made a case that she would rest alongside Mayuri Kohsaka, who had no relative of her own, and her request was granted. All these years, the two Amities are finally together. At last I chose to leave my Amity partners. To leave Suoh of my own free will. I don't regret my choice even now. You know, I was merely running away seeing my own mother back when it was kind to me and Mother Elder. Grandmother looked so peaceful. It was worth it just to see the look at her face. If my being by her side was able to bring a little joy to a life of sadness. And yet, will Suoh and Rika ever forgive me? My choice wasn't the wrong one to make. When it comes to life's own choices, there isn't always a right option. Sometimes every choice is a mistake. I chose to leave her behind. Will she take me back now? Looking up at the elder tree, I pray that Suoh will come to find me, my true self, as she did before. It's a scene to take one's breath away. The cherry trees lining the road didn't turn it into a tunnel. Petals flutter down without a sound, like snow falling on a winter's night, covering the ground and transforming the world. It's like something from a dream, Rika says, and I smile and a nod. I feel the same way. Her eyes crinkle between her glasses as she stretches out her hands to catch her falling petals. The pale pink petals slip through her fingers like tiny fish. As she stretches her arms out delightedly, rays of sunshine and cherry blossoms raining down upon her. The petals swirl down to decorate her hair. Behind her, staying in the shadow of trees, my stepmother watches me. I'm sure it's anxiety I'm feeling over whether or not Mayuri will be here. It's called for a fourth. At Mother Elder's funeral, she said to me, "If you want us to be Amities again, Meet me in front of Shion Basket's grave 3 days from now. Seeing that dark nut marring a vibrancy of pink and aware is a manifestation of a weakness within my heart, I came to a stop. What's wrong? We're going to be late. Urging me onward. My stepmother's form only gets closer the further we walk along a carpet of petals. I can't tear my gaze away from her. Hey, Suoh-san. Rika calls out to me. I'm so glad we three are Amitié partners. Huh? At first we were kind of awkward, the three of us, and we went through a lot of ups and downs. We're just you and me, or me and Mayuri, or you and Mayuri. I don't think a relationship would be as strong as they are now. She's right, you know. As the falling petals push gently against my cheeks, I think of Shion Basket and Sayori Kifune. If we had been a group of three, if I had had an Amitié partner like Rika with them, perhaps such a tragedy would have never occurred. You know, Suoh-san? I like it best when the three of us are together. I feel like we isn't changed the Amitié system as a legacy left to us by both Shion and Sayori. When one person falls, our Amitié can pick them back up. But if the two of you fall together, then I'll be one to lift you back up. That's why Amitié has come in threes. Yes, you're right. A dazzling smile draws one back from me. Living like a dark stain, my stepmother still watches over me, but then suddenly, with a maternal smile, it reminds me of the first time I met her. She disappears. I'll probably never see her again, because with me now, I have two of us. Friends, lovers, family. My precious Amitiés. Pass through a pink tunnel towards a place we've yet to visit with spring. We step our memories together and wear it into a tapestry. Memories but both warm and chill my heart, but my heart will no longer be in any danger of freezing over. Because I have faith. We walk up a gentle slope until we finally arrive at the clearing. A headstone protrudes from the ground like a gleaming white sword, a tree growing close behind it. A tree. Alien Basket's tree. And then, beneath the clear and boundless sky, she turns to us. You found me. Nestled by the embrace of the elder tree, her petals opening up to a blue sky overhead. We will never be parted, you and I. With the floriography of the Angraecum upon her lips. She gives me a bright smile of a spring day. We're finally settling back into a normal daily routine just as the early blooming cherry blossoms are starting to lose their lustre. The Academy spring break is beginning. Mio wakes up earliest and watches her face, and takes her time brushing her teeth, doing her hair, before putting on her uniform. Then she wakes Rika-san, who is into morning person. Same routine I bore witness to every day back in spring. Since Rika's always got used to me being one waking up, she often says my name in a sleepy voice. Sometimes Mayuri plays along, waking up by imitating me, something like, "Come on, I want you to make tea for me, Rika-san." Once all ready, we head to a cafeteria. Saying grace, we tuck into breakfast, and afterwards we get stuck into our homework. We'll be assigned homework over break. We're not a part of a group doing home vacation or a group staying in the dorms. Still an overwhelming route. We knuckle down and get to work away in the mornings. So this is famous, isn't it? We're able to spend our afternoons however we please. And so today finds us gathered in Iznik. Right. This is your first time here, isn't it? We decided to spend this afternoon sorting out the paperwork for all the council's projects, which is built up over the term. It is, so this is the inner citadel where the Council of Nicaea have ruled over where a shrewd and capable Yatsushiro-senpai works their magic. You make it sound like some villain secret hideout. Are you making a dig at Erika-san? She's not here, is she? There's something about Yatsushiro-senpai that conjures up that image, you know? Indeed, indeed. I personally see it. Rika and her two helpers come into a room with a tea. Okay, here's yours and mine. These are mine and Richan-san's. The Sasaki sisters place the teacups down on a table. And our poor Suoh-san's. Takes an empty cup and pours a tea into it with great skill. The scene takes me back to last spring. Been a while since I've seen that. Recently she's been pouring it before we even bring the cups though. Rika bluntly responds that Suoh-san is special and everyone laughs. Are you making good progress with your council work? We've already made all the preparations for the new school year ahead of time. There's nothing major for us left to work on. So what are you doing now? There's still lots of little bits and pieces left to take care of, like application of new public equipment. Ringo glances over me and I wave the papers I've been checking to make sure there are no big discrepancies. I knew it was true on paper, but you two really are the president and vice president of the Council of Nicaea, huh? What makes you say that? You've always been very conscientious and studious, Rika, so I kind of see you as the vice president, but Suoh as president. You don't think I'm a good fit? No, I do, it's just I simply duck my head as she stares intently at me sitting beside the president's desk. It must be terrible being the last to know. Very true indeed. Huh? You probably haven't heard since you only just come back to school, but Suoh-chan came top in every subject from the end of term exams. She did? To become president, you need the support of most of the student body. In other words, Suoh-chan's the most popular girl in school now. Mayuri's eyes are growing wider and wider with twins rave about me. I can feel my own face getting hotter and hotter. I mean, I can see more than a few reasons why that would be the case, but... She has seriously her arms folded and as she's noticed everyone says hi to me when we go to the cafeteria. You're much less shy than you used to be. Indeed. She was always the prettiest girl in school, but now she's friendly too, she's unstoppable. Please stop. I duck my head, face flaming into her compliments, and wait for him to move on to another topic. Speaking of popularity, more Suoh stories? I do have more, but you know, Richan's super popular too. We're still the same topic, I'm relieved their target has shifted. Yeah, she is, isn't she? Perhaps even more so than Suoh-chan if we're talking straight up popularity. Seems like I hit the jackpot with my amateur partners not once, but twice. I'm just a busybody. People come and talk to me. I hear you're getting more admirers among the upperclassmen these days too. We're talking to people who have more personal interest in her. There's always Buki. She has her impish grin. Ah yes, Suobuki-san, obviously. Suobuki-san. Chika Suobuki-san. She transferred to the academy in the summer. She's the secretary of the council. Explain who she is and Mayuri murmurs her recognition. So what's so obvious about her? Well, she... Yes? Hate to say it, but both Suoh-chan and Richan can be really quite oblivious. Indeed. Ah, right, yes, I think I get it. Mayuri nods. Until that Rika's the only one who recommended Suobuki for a council role. I mean, I did recommend her, but she got the position through her own efforts. I'm glad I recommended though. She's shrewd and negotiator and has excellent attention to detail. Yes, I can see how that will be misinterpreted. Suobuki-san's very keen, but she's also been getting close with Mizuki Hokama from a choir club. A girl in each arm, is it? Suppose she has enough grades for both. Twins laugh at Mayuri's joke. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. The way you said that totally reminded me of Yuzuriha senpai. Been a while since I last heard that name. Feels like I'm slowly forgetting something important. I'm sorted with documents for that issue. I've come to the library to borrow a book. But isn't Shirahane-san and the rest of the gang? What are you doing here? You don't have a shift today, do you? Erika and Takasaki greet us from where we've taken up camp on a shelf of donated books. Oh, you're all together today. How lovely. Says Basket pokes her head out behind the shelf and smiles at us. Still feels like there's a gulf between us. And you Dahlia Sensei too. Another one with a lady on each arm. Another one? Only one of mine's a lady though. When Takasaki protests, says Basket gently warns her not to raise her voice in the library. I watch her still unsure how I should interact with her now. How there should be any feelings between us. Well, I don't just trust her, so I can regress back to where we were in spring, find myself unwilling to strike up a conversation with her. Everything's happened, it's going to take some time. So what are you guys here for, Shirahane? You're not on duty today, are you? No, I finished the book I borrowed, so I'm here to return it and take out another one. Erika nods satisfied and asks her the same question. Same here, but also. Pretty bumped into Miyagaki, so asked her first if she had regular invitations. Any interesting books? There's something suitable amongst the donated books, so I was just talking about lending us something from my personal collection. Like the Black Dahlia? That's the last thing she'd want, I'm sure I can come to something else. Sucks for you, Chidoin, being dragged around by this bookworm. I suppose so, but since I've never really had much of an interest in books before, it's actually been quite an eye-opener. Every book she's recommended to me so far has been really good. Personally, I have a bunch of books recommended to me by Ringo, but they've all been super scary. Scary books? Oh, my interest peaked. And I would be happy to lend you some. As I watched Takasaki-san chatting with the twins, I think to myself how much she's changed. Come on, you always have a favourite hand to recommend. Our tastes are similar, so I'm sure you already have read any pick of mine. Same goes to me here. I've read most of what the library has to offer, so I was thinking about trying a new genre. What genre? Poetry, I guess. Surprised she's never tried reading poetry before. So I think it was a good choice. Fit from mine to post-it notes or something to recommend to her. When I hear a word, Iberis, and a gust of wind blows through my brain, scattering my notes. Really? I thought she'd be depressed. Iberis is a strong woman. I think it would please her greatly if he came to visit. Private conversation between the two of them. Conversation only they would understand. I don't think seeing me would only hurt her more. Perhaps it was that kind at first, but since it was though her daughter walked through a door, but now. I'm sure now she sees her not as a replacement, but as your own person. A friend from a younger generation. You really think so? She has a mood, but she's a good person at heart. Just needs someone to talk to, she feels comfortable around. She laughs softly, although some part of the conversation is amusing. Oh, this is no fun. Erika whispers for me. She comes beside me, is gleaming with to engage in her intimate conversation. Feels like she always gets there first. Hey, Kohsaka. What is it? Quiet in the library. Oh, sorry, I guess I wasn't paying attention. Also, in case you regard, this place is to borrow books. Oh, you're right. How about you pick something for me then? I hear you're quite a bookworm. Leans forward like an eager puppy and nosing up to a grumpy cat. Erika scratches her head, looking irritated. You really grind my gears. What, did I say something to upset you? Quiet, you only pick books that people I like. Ah. But if you insist. It's your turn to make breakfast tomorrow, right? Try bringing me a meal with a sway me. I'm sure Erika-san was joking when she said it, but Mayuri eagerly agreed that it was a deal. Now here you are making with 2 dishes instead of the usual one. Let's see. First we have to boil the water, right? Erika, you just start chopping vegetables before that. Don't worry, it's all in the heat. We're good to go. Oh, it's dangerous with boiling water around, so let's chop vegetables first, okay? Let's calm down, guys. We're making minestrone. You're going to be burning tomatoes, right? Feel a sense of deja vu. Sensation gives me pause. The minestrone back then too, wasn't it? What's up? Now's the time of doing, not thinking. Chop chop. What are you making the second dish again, Mayuri? German fries. That's so good. You already have a handful of minestrone, so we can really handle another dish. Sure, Erica's only impressed us with just one dish. Just like before, so I think minestrone alone we would probably do it, but she remembers that too. German fries hold a special place in my heart, so I really want to make them more for you. What I can do is nod in face with determination. Well, if you insist. Hey, is this not potatoes? How'd you peel all those so fast? Oh, you came on leaps and bounds in spring. I'm nowhere near Suoh's level since she's in the cooking club, but I bake cookies on my tea parties so we've improved a bit. I don't think peeling vegetables is a big part of baking, but it must be another one of her natural talents. Watch Rika-san shitfully mincing the tomato and Mayuri's banter back and forth. Oh, I love the smell of garlic. It's such a great ingredient. It's tasty, it warms you up in winter. What's not to love? If only it didn't make your breath stink afterwards. So nothing to taste between us. What is it? Oh, it's something funny. Yes, it is. Yeah, it feels like you've really gone back to how things were in spring. Seeming unable to express my giggles, my Amity partners look at one another and grin. I know we said it's nothing like before. She's right, we're much closer than we were back then. Just like how things think we are. Toss a chunk of potato from a pot and we always set to a boil. You're right. Now let's show us how much we've grown and improved since then. Feeling invigorated we do as I woke weekend with balmy spring morning, I apply the skills of home to a cooking club to ingredients before me. And after saying grace, it smells good. Wow, you made 2 different dishes, I'm impressed. All those German chips look nice. Breakfast you made is laid out and the main dish on the side. You can have effusive praise for a dish's appearance enough to make me blush. Well, it just looks as last time we had it. Minestrone is one of those things that always tastes the same. You can always make improvements. The soup's the same as last time, but let's see about this one. You slathered them in olive oil and flavoured with garlic and consomme. I appreciate a twist in black pepper too. Hey, she likes it. Hey, don't get ahead of yourself. I'm glad to hear it. I learned the recipe from Maliam. Apparently it's one of her children's favourites. That's so it's a Basquiat family recipe. Save as a taste. I think you realise that all eyes were on her awaiting a verdict. I suppose I'll give you a passing grade against my seal of approval. But why are you so fixated on this anyway? If you want a book recommendations, you can just ask Shirahane. Oh, sure, Tommy, you're really smart, kind, and all-round amazing person. Mayuri? And I wonder people my Amity thinks of well to think well of me too. In response to Mayuri's forthright answer, Erika-san mutters an acknowledgement and quickly stuffs a mouthful of fries and carries on eating. Oh. Speaking of memories, we've got to get planning. Ah, your segue is giving me whiplash. Playing for what? You know, you had two children. I did? Cox head in confusion, and she goes and points at me. Talking about birthday party. We haven't had one for Suoh-chan yet. Huh? I know you mentioned it. She was born in March, that makes her the last of all of us. A birthday party? I celebrated everyone else's birthday, but I never thought of my own. I figured you guys would want to throw some kind of surprise party for Shirahane's birthday. I like surprises, but they haven't always worked out. And it'd be fun to have a big party together with all of our classmates. Of course, everyone wants to meet the top girls' birthday party. It's a shame I won't be able to get everyone from class together since it's during vacation. But this way, you can invite me other classmen who've been stayed behind the dorms. So watch my friends discussing the ideas. I'm so glad I came to this academy. From the bottom of my heart, I'm truly thankful. Before I came here, I was always so alone, but I felt like I was going around in circles, constantly worrying about whether or not I'd be able to make friends. I go back in time and speak to that girl who walked so fearfully along the dark path to the academy. I'll tell her about her Amity, some amazing friends she's going to meet. As it will be exciting to discuss my birthday, I looked at my Amity partner's thoughtful faces and think of a summer, a wonderful summer day. Mayuri, Rika, I'd like to ask them of me both. My request from my Amity partner was the same thing Erika once gave to Takasaki-san, and Takasaki-san to Erika-san. A song for our Amity. So I read not being much time left on my birthday, both Mayuri and Rika readily agreed to compose a song, in charge of the lyrics, and I'm composing the music. Well, there's no time pressure. I so enjoy the act of creating music as a trio. Worked my vacation homework and council duties until lunchtime, and dedicated my afternoon to composing. I've done it once before, but that doesn't mean it's any easier this time. Again and again I dipped my cloth into being a well of inspiration. Then just on reaching the crest of a creative mountain, I had an unexpected visit. Long time no see. Ah. My silver-haired fox. What a lovely piece. And a golden-haired pessimist. I was hoping you'd come. Well, it was an invitation for a pick-up line if ever I heard one. We missed you too, Shirahane. Oh, those outfits really suit them. Yuzuriha Yatsushiro and Angraecum Academy. Been so long since I last saw a former president and vice president. Drenched with crimson light falling through the stained glass windows, they're both so beautiful. They barely seem human. I think we should drop by. We're quite horrible to you after all. Protesting, I don't think they were. I find my throat dry and unexpected. My voice comes out raspy and a cough follows. It's okay, we're not going to vanish on you again. Here, drink this. Pours me a glass of water from a nearby jug and passes it to me. So anyone take a sip, I realise just how thirsty I am. Feel a cool liquid moisten my mouth and slide down my throat. Thank you. Not at all. Would you like another? Your powers of concentration are something else. You're focusing so hard, you didn't even notice you were dehydrated. As they talk to me with synchronicity, almost seems orchestrated. It starts to feel like I've slipped into a fairy tale. If I'm Alice, which one of them is the white rabbit? Oh, okay. Really has been a long time, hasn't it? Actually, hasn't been that long for a couple of days, but it sure feels like it. It's like being reunited with a long-lost relative. Knowing exactly what I mean, I nod, asking whether it's okay to empty out and about in broad daylight. I suppose that's a fair question. We wanted women after all. But it's fine. We've decided to leave anyway. You mean you're going to drop out? For some reason, Miss caused him to exchange a smile. I told you, didn't I? Yes, your intuition is always with money. The questioning tone brings a cynical smile. Well, I just made a little better know about where we'd be sad to see us go. Right, but of course I am. Right, everything we did. That doesn't matter. See, I told you that Shirahane would... Didn't I tell you that Shirahane would forgive us? Nodding at Shiro-senpai, features soften. Then she walks up to me and hugs me tightly. Yatsura-senpai. I've done lots of stupid things in my time, but there's one wise decision amongst them. Pushing you into running for a president of the Council of Nicaea. Even discounting everything else, you already thought you'd make a good successor. Really? We already spent the day wandering around the academy and saying goodbye to it. There's a lot of memories in this place. Wherever we went, we saw visions of ourselves from 1 year earlier. You know, Suoh-kun, I don't remember people and places of how I look. I remember friends warmth and their scent. I already have a photographic memory. I want to carry something in my heart. She squeezes her arms even tighter around me and I feel a warmth and the smell of the scent of lilies. Okay, that should do it. And now I'm never going to forget you. Yatsura-senpai. We won't be returning to Saint Angraecum Academy, but we won't forget you or the others. Komikado-senpai. You can tell them a goodbye for us. I won't tell that Basket family, or rather one member in particular, but I haven't forgotten about that blow to the head. Goodbye, Shirahane-san. Meeting you and performing together with recitation was a memory I should stay with me the rest of my life. Goodbye, Suoh-kun. I will pray for your enduring happiness. And those last goodbyes, they're gone. Yet I don't hear their words of parting as a final farewell, for in my chest there burns a certainty. I will see them again someday. There's no need to cry. I can't stop the tears from falling. My birthday. There's been years when my birthday has been celebrated, and years when it's been completely ignored. As far as I'm concerned, the day I had another year to my age is neither a positive event nor a negative one. I don't feel bad when it's forgotten, when it's remembered. I simply smile for the sake of a person who's celebrating. But this year, having celebrated the birthdays of my fellow classmates since enrolling at Saint Angraecum Academy, I understand. Celebrating a birthday isn't just about marking a transition from one year of your life to the next. It's a blessing that honours the people you're with and the time you have together. I want to cherish all I have here now. I want to cherish the fact I'm alive in this moment here at the Academy. On earth as it is in heaven. Whispers clearly audible. I know that phrase. Ah, you heard it? I say it out of habit whenever I see the chapel of the image of Christ. Same words that she wrote on the back of her painting. Reading those words on Mayuri's cry for help, I was able to forge my way forward. The true meaning of it was... I understand the meaning now, but the words didn't refer to the head of school, to some other elder, weren't they? Facing the piano, Mayuri smiles. Not a gentle, silly smile I know her for. That's just one of the truth. On earth as it is in heaven, means God's will should be carried out here in the world, just as it is above in heaven. And God's will is represented here by Mother Elder, yes? So with the piano, I opened the lid and brushed my fingers over the keys. That's one interpretation of intended meaning, but there's also another one. Words that would usually precede that phrase, "Thy will be done," have purposefully been left out. The full phrase is, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Part of the Lord's Prayer. About thy will no longer refers to God, so without God, what might it refer to? And I finally understand. I know what Mayuri is trying to tell me. On earth as it is in heaven, was a cry from Mayuri's heart, as an expression of her resolution. So as she wished, free from God, not under anyone's control. Back in spring, the emotions so tortured Mayuri Kohsaka, the question she agonised over and reason she branded herself. Is it wrong to love another girl? It's not wrong. The heart wants it once. You can't stop someone from falling in love. My amity is like spring sunshine. I'm no match for you, Suoh. There's that smile I love. Mayuri, Suoh-san. Let's sing. Oh, please God, let this be the ending theme. This be perfect ending theme. I pull out the stool, sit before a piano, and rest my fingers atop the keys. Before I came to the academy, I hated this instrument, so much I trembled before it. Yet now it feels so dear. And now to coax it from music, this connects us. So that, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, guys. I know this has been a long final epilogue, but it deserves to be. This is a final epilogue, not just to Flowers Le Volume sur Hiver, but the entire Flowers quartet. It's been a fantastic ride. Thank you very much for joining me. If you've been joining me since the very start, if you joined me part way through, don't know why you did that if you did. But thanks so much for watching. I'm going to bid you a farewell, And join next time when I'll be playing a new game. A very, very different game indeed to this. So until next time, have a wonderful day. And bye-bye.